I'm going to make another video on this at some point, but I wanted to do this just out of a fit of inspiration. So whatever you think about is going to grow, whether it's good or bad. And so as a human being, your greatest resource is really your energy. And you might ask, okay, but how do you put energy into something? It's your attention. So when I say energy, I really just mean your attention. So how do people get good at anything? Let's look at Rubik's Cube, just to use a weird example to show how it applies to everything. If you want to get good at Rubik's Cube, well, what do? You know nothing. All you've got is time. So what do you pay with? You pay with your time or your attention. And over the span of a few months of you putting your attention into it, your skill level is going to grow. And so you can do that with anything. Now, the flip side of that is it's a double-edged sword. So if you put your attention and your thought into something bad, that too is going to grow. So you got to be so aware of what your thoughts are doing and how they're affecting you, because you can either use it for good or you can use it for bad. And I think it's the people who use their thoughts towards something good, those are the people that really, really succeed. And I've really understood this concept, and I apply it to anything. I do jiu-jitsu. How do I get good at jiu-jitsu? I put energy into it. I put my attention into it. I go 3 times a week, every week. And I've been doing it for 2 years now. So now I'm good enough to not get my ass whooped. Let me just say that. But you can get good. I know I can be a billionaire. I just know it's going to take a certain amount, a really large amount of attention. And so you might say, okay, I know I have the capability to put my attention and energy into something, but what if I don't have much time? I work a full-time job, I'm in school, I've got friends, I got a girlfriend. Bro, everyone else has those same distractions. So it's really only the people that make time. That's why so few people have things at the very, very pinnacle of whatever endeavor it is. That you have to sacrifice something. You only have 12 hours in a day, and you only have so much of that energy. So if you want to get jacked, what does that look like? Well, perhaps you go to school all day long, and then you work a job after. If you really want it, which I'm not saying you need to want it, but if it's something you really want to do, you're going to carve out that time in the morning before everything happens. And that's all it is. Attention put into the endeavor over a long period of time. And bam, you can have whatever you want through that formula. And you just got to be careful of the women in the red dress per se, the shiny objects that will eat away at the available energy that you have. The distractions. The thing about distractions is they actually don't do you much good long term. I say this all the time. I said this in the last video. If you have 2 options, and one's harder now, and one's easier now, always choose the one that's harder right now. Because it's just your brain avoiding reality and putting it off. But when you accept it and eat the bullet right away, that's always where the best stuff is. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And it's not that complex. It's just, as humans, our greatest resource is our energy and our attention. So who's the best at things? Whatever you want to be good at, the person who's the best at it has paid the most attention to it. And that typically looks like an obsession or an addiction, which some people would call unhealthy. But it's just, where's the line? Where are you going to draw the line to make it acceptable and doable. It just depends how bad you really want it. And sometimes you got to make yourself really want it. And how do you grow your desire? You pay more attention. It's all about where you put your attention. Think of your attention in kind of the hours. So you've got 12 hours per day roughly of attention. So to quantify attention, I would just say hours. And that's how most people do, but they don't think of it as their resource per se. So you've got 12 hours of attention. And if you look at your schedule, which if you actually use a schedule, I think it's a great tool. But if you were to look back on the previous week, you could very, very easily see where you're putting your hours. And that's going to dictate what you're getting good at. It's also going to dictate what's pulling you down. So if you're going to school a total of, 40 hours a week, cool. You're putting a lot of attention into school, you'll probably do good at it. What about the remaining hours? I don't know off the top of my head how many hours are in a week. 24 times 7, that's at least 2 times 7, it's 140. It's over 140 hours. So, fuck. What I'm saying is, if you look at what you do, you can easily dictate what you're going to be good at or what is eating away at your life. If you party every single weekend, how many hours are you doing that? Okay, you only have so much attention. What do you want? And I just feel like so much of all of this goes back to, what do you actually want? What do you really want? And don't lie to yourself. If you could have everything, what would you have? Think about that first. And then assess what the price is. Because really, a lot of it's just chipping away at this iceberg and waiting. That's what getting jacked is. You do a little bit every day over a long period of time. That's how you do it. Most people just can't wait long enough. But I feel like if you set your expectations early on and just use whatever you have left, whatever attentiveness you have left, put towards it. If you've got an empty hour in your schedule each day and you've got something you really want to do, plop said goal in that slot. If you've got 15 minutes at the same time every day, that is perfect. That's what I do. That's how I assessed, okay, I know over a long enough period of time I can grow a pretty good YouTube channel. I know that I drive at least an hour every day. I drive a shit ton. So I've got an area of attention that I can pay. And why would I not use that? So I suppose we all waste a lot of our attention. We've got more than we think we do. Doing 15 minutes each day towards what you really want, is that so bad? I'm willing to pay that price. Sure, the more attention you pay per day, the quicker you'll get it. But at a certain point, it does require waiting, which is actually the hardest part. Sure, someone might, if you were given two options, hey, you can work 24 hours a day, no, 22, so you can sleep. You had to work 22 hours a day for a month. Or you can wait 2 years and chip away at it. What would you choose? Probably the 22 hours at first, but you'd break. That's the problem. If you can't do it forever, don't do it for a day, because the first option is flawed. Look at this. You can't, to a certain point, you can't speed things up because you do have other shit you gotta do. Life keeps moving. Sure, you have this goal you want to achieve, but life is gonna keep moving and you do have other obligations that you have to work around. But Hormozy has this quote, it's not, your 9 to 5 isn't robbing you of your dreams. It's what you do with your 5 to 9. So it's the extra fucking time, the extra attention that you're simply wasting. Even if you use not the whole 5 to 9, even if you use 1 hour of that, over 3 years, you'd get the desired goal. It's just so simple. And I think everyone knows how simple it is. I think it does help. For me, this perspective, I'm like, shit, yeah, I'll do anything for fucking 15 minutes a day. I've grown this YouTube channel 1,000 subs just by plopping this shit on for 10 minutes every day and pressing upload. So I hope this was valuable. My name's Liam. I make a lot of videos like this of just what I learn and observe about the world. So hope it's valuable. Have a great day.